Three, two, one. Hey, chill my bros, and welcome back to MK Reacts. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I've done a few gang songs. I've done a Black Power and a Mungo Mob song, and yeah, here we go. It happens to be a documentary, just a short 20-minute documentary called Gangsters Paradise, New Zealand's hip hop crime wave. From real stories. I have no idea what to expect going into this, but yeah, Gangsters Paradise was enough. And New Zealand's hip hop crime wave sort of all just fits together perfect. I'm interested to see what we got going on here. If it's boring, I'm just gonna cut it short. But yeah, gangs in New Zealand are interesting, bro. They're interesting. But well, yeah. Anyway, let's check this out, G. This is Gangsters Paradise, New Zealand's crime wave, hip hop crime wave, crime documentary, real stories. Let's get it.
Like this. How many dudes you know flow like this? Hey. Not many, infinity, not many, infinity. How many dudes you know got skills go and rock the show like this?
Yeah.
It's late afternoon in Otara, South Auckland, and the streets are filling up with restless youths gearing up for a big night.
Yeah.
With these two tools, it can get you a living.
Doing what? Doing what?
Good things.
Good things.
These two tools will get you on.
I remember I was telling I was telling someone that back in the days we used to be able to rob cars with a screwdriver. I only ever did once, but we used to be able to.
Pursuit with 2 cop cars, maybe 4 if you're lucky. You clamp it on, and then you...
This boy tells me that when he
Kids these days, all they do is play Fortnite. Gee, this was us back in the days.
spots a
Thinking we're on.
car he wants, he just takes it.
What you do, sir, up there, you put this in,
Don't fucking tell the camera how you rob cars.
and boom,
That's evidence.
you're gone. You're gone.
Many of these boys belong to the
Oh,
Killer
he's on
Bees,
to it,
one of
G.
several dozen new gangs creating a law and order nightmare for the police in South Auckland.
What's it like being around here?
Been around here, it's beautiful. This is what we call Gangster Paradise. Around here is just far.
So what, do you go to school?
Crazy.
You go to school?
Nah,
How old are you?
16.
Where-
Yeah, I think that's pretty common though. Not a lot of kids went to school at 16. Even now.
When did you leave school?
Last year.
Uh-huh.
Reason why, because just because the way we live out here, we like to steal cars. We like to
Hey. Oh.
creep and crawl, rob people. Reason why, because we got no money. But now we looking like you got gold, got the money, but you know.
So you're not worried about getting, getting in trouble, getting
The
arrested?
police, the police always look at us. They want to chase us, but you know, they try to chase us, but they can't catch us. The police. So I gotta say to the police.
We've always had youth gangs in Auckland, but nothing to the magnitude as what we're seeing at the moment.
Man, this looks old as.
A lot of these youth gangs are basing themselves on the LA gangster scene, and we'd estimate across Auckland at the moment there would be in excess of 2,000 youth gang members. We've profiled 1,500 of those.
It only just now that we're beginning to realise, hey, we've got a problem.
Youth work.
But I think that...
By the way, I'm a youth worker by trade too, but we do residential youth work. Yeah. Which is interesting, bro. It's cool.
that recognise it and do something about it, rather than...
I'd love to do youth work back in New Zealand, bro, just to be able to help our kids back there. But yeah, I'm currently in Australia. Family's all over here, so...
trying to hush and keep it quiet. No, we don't have that. We don't have a problem. We're in a bad way, because guarantee you, further down track, we will reap the consequences.
New Zealand is already reaping the consequences. These kids show no fear of the police. Most of them are high, either from sniffing petrol or taking methamphetamine.
I thought you were selling it. What type of drug are you on?
One boy, not
Just a product of their own home, eh? Like a lot of their parents probably on the drugs, bro, and then as a kid you get interested in it as well, and then you sneak some, and then next one you get hooked. Just sad, man. That's just how it was for us. A lot of us growing up.
not even in his teens, is carrying a knife, and then I feel a hand dart into my pocket.
What do you got? Come on, man. What'd you grab?
I realise later that they stole some of my camera equipment, but I decide it's safer not to make a fuss.
Usually if you stay tuned till tonight, if you're here until tonight, you're going to see a lot of fascinating action. It's like a movie around here. Just stand there, you're gonna see people getting shovel paintballs. You're gonna see cops chasing cars. Why? Because probably one of us is gonna be in the cars with someone's handbag, and then look, we got the money, got the loot. You know, get away from problems. And not so long. You might see some fights around here. The fights get ugly.
Who do you fight? Who do you fight?
We fight like rivals, like people that hate on our
like these little niggas, like these
people that hate on our
These are called little homies.
The youth gangs of today would come mainly from economically deprived areas, formed for the same reason. A lot of them come from dysfunctional families, where there's no central male figure in the family, there's no structure in the.
Why doesn't the government help, bro? Is there no way to help out these families to try to, if you help out the families, then it helps the kids out, then they don't have to get into this shit. I'm not saying give them money, but maybe if there's like what if they had to put millions of dollars into doing like food packages for families too. Imagine putting like millions of dollars into like food packages for families who can't afford, to eat. And then if you've done that, then the kids can eat. Then they don't have to stress too much about, all these other dramas. What's interesting too is that Fortnite or, gaming in general has just changed the whole, phones, TikToks, all that stuff has just changed the whole, just everything to do with this kind of stuff. Gangs and that were so normal for us growing up. Now it's like they're fading off, kids don't want to be in gangs. They want to be fucking TikTok famous, Instagram, YouTube famous. They want to play the game for a living. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Different.
The family, and
also, sorry to touch on that as well. A lot of us who are brought up like the way that these kids are in this video, a lot of us have thought, with our kids in the future, fuck that shit. I don't want my kids to be brought up like how I was. So I bet you I can almost guarantee you the ones that didn't end up in jail on this video will probably be good fathers, doing the best they can for their kids, because a lot of us were brought up like that, had nothing at home, were brought up in the gang life, and none of us wanted that. We didn't want to be in that position. And then when it comes to our kids, we don't want them to be in that position, so we do the best we can, so they don't have to. But anyway, back to the video.
And they drift into the gangs, which are really just copycat versions of what they see on TV and on videos, and they're trying to mimic these kinds of images because they have nothing else.
What Killer Bees is all about? Money. I know, love for the block, Killer Bees is all about family. Yeah, it's family, it's brother.
Fuck, Killer Bees. So this is the Killer Bees. Is this when they started out? Killer Bees in South Auckland I don't know. They were for me when I was growing up. They're pretty well known, bro. They were not well known for good reason.
It's all about brotherhood.
This is Speedy. He's second in command of the Killer Bees.
You want to see the gangster side of me? Yeah. I'm a motherfucking Killer Bee, Speedy Guns, what? You all meth, NE, motherfuckers know what's up. Those aces representing this motherfucker. You back up in this motherfucker.
Callaway Records, see if you if you haven't heard of Killer Bees, look up Callaway Records, and fuck yeah, their Killer Bees songs were mean. They were mean.
Yeah, so I thought I rap to survive. I motherfucking rap to survive. Yeah, every day you see me on the side.
So can I ask why do you look to American rap culture? Like
American? Huh? America. Everyone says that we're trying to be like America. America want to be like us.
Our view is that they should be banned. Gangs, just as terrorist organisations, should be seen.
And what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Nothing. You've never done anything about it. Hey, who the hell are you? Never heard of you.
For what they are our domestic terrorists. They are the people who terrorise our communities, who prey off of people, who commit crime in order to better themselves.
And then what all they'll think of is, the best way to deal with gangs is chuck them all in jail. That's not. Hey, when they're struggling, you got evidence that they're struggling families. Why not just help the families so they don't have to rob, so they don't have to steal? But they don't give a shit, bro. Like I said,
their own lifestyle and to satisfy their own need and greed. We should be simply outlawing it and making it illegal for anyone to.
So out of touch, bro. Pisses me off. Fuck up. Shut up, Mark. You don't fucking know.
To be a member of any named gang.
The cops don't even know what my...
Gangster rapping juveniles, like the Killer Bees, are a new problem in New Zealand, but ethnic gangs are not. This is the traditional face of New Zealand's gang culture. Dennis Makalio is from the mongrel mob, and he thinks he knows why new street gangs are springing up.
People are bored, Kids are bored. I mean, they're not going to just sit back because someone else has got a vision saying that's naughty or that's bad or whatever. They're fucking bored. And if they can see rappers from overseas that can be the baddest of the baddest and become multi-millionaires, well, maybe that's their dream. Oh, why not? Well, why not? You'd be silly not to go there. We can get around grandma's house and watch you do the knitting all fucking day.
Yeah.
Go, give it. Give it. Faster.
Dennis has invited me to the mongrel mob's clubhouse in Pororua, not far from the capital Wellington.
Now, headbutt it now, bro. Go.
When someone proves he has what it takes to be a mungie, or a dog, as the gang members call themselves, he's patched up, entitled to wear the gang's emblem on his clothes or tattoos.
A couple of the old presidents here. Old Blue and Okadake.
Dennis has been in the mongrel mob for more than 30 years. 8 of them he spent in jail for a range of violent crimes.
A lot of these fellas are old now, either passed away or have moved on.
The mongrel mob and their arch rivals Black Power have always instilled fear in New Zealanders.
The indigenous people of New Zealand.
It's funny, bro, like with the mongrel mob in there, it was always the old fellas were always chill, but it was always the young fellas, like the prospects. They're always the one that used to cause all the trouble, G. But that was the idea, like the older guys would just get the young fellas to go and get money for them to work their way up the ladder. And so my bad experiences with mongrel mobs weren't so much with the actual, the old fellas. It was always the young fellas who just would try and get some status around town and just go and cause trouble.
Big gangs, the Black Power and the mongrel mob, are very much like the old Maori tribes. And the way they fight, the way they war with one another, simply because you belong to a different banner, is just the way the Maori tribes used to fight in the past.
That's the only thing that, someone said in the comments of the Black Power video, I'm pretty sure, is that, like, it's sad because it's just cousins versus cousins. Like, it's true, bro. Just because you're brought up in a specific part of New Zealand who are fucking Black Powers, you're Black Power, and then your other cousin who's brought up in another place is living in a mongrel mob town, and so he's mongrel mob, and then you come together and you have to beat each other up because, it's sad because that's just the way it is.
Criminologist Greg Newbold spent 5 years in prison for dealing heroin in the 1970s, and he met many gang members in jail.
It was a bad day. It turned out well.
He's now an associate professor at the University of Canterbury in Christchurch.
I think the mob's probably less threatening than it was before, because a lot of the leaders are making money out of enterprise, probably drug dealing mainly.
Yeah, but the president's onto it. They don't do the work. The fellas below them do the work. Then the fellas below them do more work, and then it just goes from there. Right, I need to stop talking. I'll just let the video go now.
Marijuana or amphetamines. And the leadership doesn't want the hassles, which is going to interfere with their profits.
Yeah, you know what it is. And notorious elite, black, get money, click.
The police accuse the mongrel mob and other adult gangs of using youths like these to carry out their criminal activities.
One of the concerns that we have with the youth gangs is that they are tied in with the adult gang scene, the ethnic gangs, and we are aware...
The older traditional ones?
The older traditional gangs, the adult patched gangs. We're aware that they are being used as a fertile breeding ground for recruitment into the adult gang scene.
Because nothing's happened. Let's just say, the member doesn't want to know.
There's now a lot of tough talk about cracking down on gangs in New Zealand.
Please, will you throw some of them out?
Parliament is discussing new anti-gang legislation which would extend police powers and increase prison terms for gang members. Leading the charge is Ron Mark, an MP from the Conservative New Zealand First Party. He thinks gangs should be banned outright.
We believe once you have that law in place, then you have the power, the
Never
police
heard
then
of
have
this,
the
dude.
power to...
Never ever heard of this, dude. Gangs never got banned. I think patches got banned, but, you know, that didn't stop anything.
Just anybody who's wearing gang paraphernalia and professing to be a member of a gang and locking them up. And you start to knock it down that way.
The idea
Never
of
happened.
banning gangs or banning patches is ridiculous.
Stupid.
It could never, ever succeed. What would happen if you just, even if you just identified a single gang and outlawed the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club?
What are you going to do? Walk around with a red shirt and then you get arrested for wearing a red shirt because that's a gang affiliated colour?
They just changed their name. Hells Angels Pony Club. That'd be the end of that. It would be ridiculous. They don't have public membership lists. And so ban their patches. Okay, big deal. So they won't wear their patches.
Yeah.
Then you don't know who they are.
That's exactly what
It makes the
happened.
police's job harder.
Stupid, eh? Dumb.
I mean, who's going to gain from it? If he wanted to outlaw all this, who's going to gain from it? It's just fucking brownie points. You know, it's just showing, you know what I mean, like, who really gives a fuck? If you ask the community, the people of New Zealand themselves, the majority of them will, you know, as long as we're not involved, who really gives a fuck?
Well, he was saying that people find you intimidating, people find you, you know, frightening, and that you are involved in criminal activity, and that's why he wants to see an end to that.
Oh, how many people in New Zealand you think find the police intimidating?
Wow.
I mean, you see it every day. Getting beaten up, chasing our kids and making out they pull back until they crash and die. And, I mean, what a lot of fucking shit.
Wow.
But while the political debate rages around the capital, back in South Auckland, practical steps are being taken.
So last week we had like gridiron, indoor gridiron, with the bibs and all that. And,
Tia and Johnson are youth workers.
Bro, that's where like a lot of youth work comes in handy, bro. Sports and that comes in handy. Gives kids a good motivation to stay away from there and get them into sports. And for a lot of us, rugby and that was just was our way out, like out of that gang life. I would have never suited being in the gang, but I was surrounded by it most of my life while I was in New Zealand. But yeah, I understood it though. I understand, bro. You know, when you're broke and you've got nothing, and then someone gives you like a bro, you don't need to be broke anymore. You can feed your family, you can feed your kids. Just do this shit. You know, obviously, if you're fucking desperate, you're gonna do it.
Who drive around the hotspots in Otara, trying to make friends and offering positive role models to vulnerable kids.
How's school, right?
I just want to say we got fight.
With who?
Fuck from up dude, try to smash him.
Nah, because he came up to me and then he hit me. And then I turned around and then he cheap shotted me.
So he punched
and he
you?
got me over here.
What's his name?
I love him.
What's his name?
Nathan.
Nathan.
And
What
then
is he?
John smashed him.
Oh, which John?
No, John smashed him. They're going.
Where they gone? Are they going back that way?
No, they're
gone over. Can you see the map?
Although they've had some success with certain children, as we drive around their beat, it feels like they're losing the bigger battle.
The area we just passed, there's been a lot of violence, a lot of gang confrontation.
Yeah, so they left.
They left.
And then the other house on the other side too.
You see on the left here, there's a lot of, this is where it all happens. As you can see by the houses and people looking up. If you want to keep a camera over, it's
The gangs have turned several of the houses around here into drive-through drug supermarkets.
the next house, the next door, this house,
and the next one,
and these two state houses here on the left. Now we were turning left, David. It's pretty dangerous because you're gonna see all the sellers,
or the drive-through, or the McDonald's.
The McDonald's drive-through.
Drive-through.
You're gonna see we're going with it. So now.
So don't film any of that.
I reckon now, mate, because they're looking. So there you can see the boys there.
Yeah.
It's been going quite well.
Tia and Johnson are part of a government-funded group called Youth Corps 274. Their headquarters is a drop-in centre on an industrial estate.
Yeah, dancing was a big one. Dancing was cool for the community too, bro. Especially with the crumping phase, when the crumping phase swept New Zealand, bro. Like, they put a lot of kids out of wanting to do bad shit into wanting to dance, which was me.
Hey, boom, boom, boom.
It's a safe place for kids who want to have some fun without getting mixed up in gangs.
Hey, boom, boom, boom.
It was started by a man who has spent 30 years trying to rescue the lost boys of South Auckland.
The community of Otara need to rise up and start asking some questions, some serious questions. You know, in 10 years' time, are we going to face a worse old problem? If things are going to get worse, what are we going to do now to stop it from happening?
I'd be interested to see how New Zealand's doing now, bro. I know gangs are still prominent in New Zealand, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
Sully Paya should know all about gangs. 30 years ago, he was in a motorcycle gang called the Stormtroopers.
Oh.
But these days, he doesn't get to ride his bike very often.
Going to blow up some cobwebs.
With Sully taking a spin around the block, it gives me a chance to meet Sam, a troubled boy that Sully has taken under his wing.
Just a little thug from Otara.
You're a little thug from Otara?
Yeah,
what do you do?
My shout outs to my mum, my uncle Nathan from Aussie. Yeah, representing Otara.
So what do you, when you say you're a little thug from Otara, what do you do?
Steal bikes, drinking.
Drinking?
Yeah.
Bit young to drink, aren't you? Huh?
Smoking.
Bit young to smoke, aren't you?
For that now.
Huh?
Don't smoke anymore.
How old are you?
10.
10. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Carpenter homie.
A carpenter homie?
Yeah, Holmes.
So you want to be a carpenter?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because my dad was one.
Fuck, I really hope the bro done well. This is obviously years ago, so I really hope this young fella is doing well now.
Where's your dad?
In jail.
What's he in jail for?
Can't see.
Okay. But he's been in for a long time?
He's going for 7 years. Yeah.
You go to visit him?
Nah.
No? Why
Don't
not?
know what
No, you could tell there, it sort of hit him talking about his dad.
prison he's in.
And what about your mum? What's she do?
So, bro, stay on the right track, G. You don't want to be like your dad.
She helped me out, tries to keep me out of trouble, looks after me, look after her.
Crazy how he went from, oh, I'm a thug, Otara thug, and then talk about his parents and his behavior just changed. See, he's like, you can tell he's just a kid wanting to be a kid, but just dealt the wrong hand. It's sad, bro. It makes me want to cry seeing this. But I hope he's doing well anyway in life now.
That was good. As long as he hangs around with us, he'll be all right. Hey, Sam. Yeah, he's part of us. And we try to keep him in our circle as much as possible. And Sam's a good kid. All of them are. Just need a bit of direction.
Also, to talk about the elephant in the room, that's style. Not the 3/4 shorts. Back in those days, it was me. But yeah, looking back, holy Rick.
Kids that come to 274 are given plenty of direction and can follow their interests, whether it's woodwork, boxing, mechanics, or dance.
Creme de la creme, homie. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Each year, if they work hard enough, these dancers have a chance to compete in the International Hip Hop Championships in Los Angeles.
Hey.
But the reality of life on the streets of Otara is never far away. Last week, Sully's own home was burgled and his son's life threatened.
Yeah, it was a home invasion. Came in, knocked on the door, the back door was not locked, so they just ran in, and there was 5 of them. 1 was waiting outside, 4 went inside, and they didn't know that my son was inside. And then he ran out and they took off, ran. My son took off 2 of them, but he pulled a knife on him.
His son has just spotted one of his assailants at the local mall. Sully and his team spring into action.
What are we going to do? Shall we stop them up there? Okay. We don't want to make a scene out of it, just undercover and...
No, to make a scene there, and the bros over here carrying a full big ass camera.
The police, I'm just waiting for them to get here. So
did you get a look at them? I just want to see, because I think there's only one.
Yeah, we'll just get that one.
That's the main one. Yeah. That's the one that pulled out the knife.
They realise the boy must have gone to the park. Part of the team fans out on foot, and we drive around the other way to stop them escaping.
It's like a special forces operation.
Well, sometimes you do what you have to, you know? Yeah. The police...
That Catch a Fire album wasn't too old. Say what you're thinking. Oh, that was 2007. So this was 2007. Shit. 2007 this would have been. A roundabout, because their Catch a Fire album in the background, the poster, said album out now, and that was 2007.
The thing that annoys me is the fact that they said to my son, because my son said the police is coming, and they said to him, what can the police do? So...
Time to set them straight.
Yeah. No, you need to be low-key.
Yep.
You need to be low-key, and the bro's out here with his camera.
You pulled a knife on my son?
I'm sorry. I was trying to get away.
You just made a bad mistake. Do you know it was my house?
Yeah.
Who told you it was my house?
No, I didn't know it was your house. We just all went there with them.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
The fact that you pulled a knife on my son.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You're sorry that you got caught.
Yeah.
You weren't really sorry. You're only sorry that you got caught.
There is still no sign of the police, and as backup arrives, Sully is working on his own strategy to deal with this young hoodlum.
All right? I tell you, you guys have just made a very bad mistake.
Sorry. I didn't know it was your house.
Whether it's my house or someone else's house. You know, you've done a bad thing. Okay? And you're going to end up in prison for doing that. All right?
Yeah.
Now that I've caught up with you, I want to make sure. What do you think I should do? You tell me, because right now I'm angry. So you tell me what I should do right now. Hey? What gang are you connected with?
I'm not connected in gang. I just went, I came out of Boise. It's not long ago. I was with some gangs.
Yeah.
Beast, White Beast in it.
Where do you know him from?
He just lives up there.
So who took my clothes? Where's my daughter's clothes? Who's the little guy that took the bag and stuff?
Jordan. He lives. He's from Ferguson.
Yeah. Can you pass this message on to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get all the.
The best thing that you guys can do, the four of you,
I'll get
is
it all
come
back.
down and see me. Okay?
Yeah. I'll get it all back.
And I tell you what, I'm gonna let you go today.
Yeah. Catch me at
On
Dale.
condition that you do this for me. You guys come down and make peace with me, okay?
Yeah.
Now you need to apologize to my son, because he's small, but he's angry. That's life in Otara, And right now I'm angry and I'm ready to pounce. And
but you're showing a lot of remarkable restraint, really.
Was that because the camera's on?
That hard to do?
Very hard.
Yeah.
That was very hard. But sometimes you have to figure out a plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to work for us. Because if I get the police involved, they'll take them away. What good does that do?
Not all New Zealanders share Sully's compassion for troublemakers. All too many have just written them off.
We have tried, this country has tried on many occasions to work with the gangs, to understand them, to
Shut the fuck up.
coordinate resources, to assist them, to change their lives, and frankly, looking back on all of that, it appears to be a complete waste of time.
Bro, you're a waste of time. Never heard of you,
says,
mate.
They're just a whole lot of different groups that just need that loving. Majority of them most probably will turn to gangs. I mean, what else is there for them?
What you want to do? What do you want to be doing in 10 years?
10 years time. What's the purpose of life, eh?
Don't know.
Where's the amazement in that? Honestly, where's the amazement?
Oh man. Well, there you go. Wow, that was mean. What a documentary that was. It's promoted like it's new ass, but obviously it's fucking years ago. And with my detective skills, I've determined this was back in 2007. Oh yeah, wow, what a mean documentary, bro. It's interesting to get an idea of how like the scene was back in our day, like back in the days. Oh, I would have been about 16 then. Yeah, I'd have been about 16. I would have been about the same age as most of these kids. So it'd be interesting to see where they are now, bro. I hope a lot of them are doing well, to be honest. Because I know, bro, I know the struggles of being in their position and feeling like there's nothing you can really do. And then you got gangs who come out and say, bro, work with us and fuck, we'll look after you. And so obviously it's what you're going to want to do. You ain't going to listen to the fucking government surviving off the benefit and being told not to do anything about being broke. And it hit home too, like, especially the young fella Sam. Was sad, bro. Sad to see him talking about, oh yeah, gang, Otara for life. Talking about drinking and smoking. He's 10 years old, and then when he talked about his parents, his whole demeanor changed, and he was just looked like he was holding back the tears, and obviously, he's not doing what he wants to do. But yeah, I hope he's doing well, bro, in life now. There you go, bro. That sort of hit home a bit for me, because yeah, that would have been me back in the days. Maybe not that to that extent. Never really robbed any houses or stabbed anyone, but I had cousins and friends that were all the same, doing the same thing, and it was sad to see then, and it's sad to see now. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that, bro, just as much as I did. Yeah, anyway, chill my bros.